Hello and welcome back to the channel, or welcome aboard if you're new. As you can see, we got something a little bit different today, and we'll talk about that here. So it has become pretty obvious to me that the longer form kind of building one plane over multiple episodes thing isn't really something people are that interested in. So we're going to kind of put that on the shelf for now, and I'm going to talk about some other stuff that I have hopefully planned out for this game on the channel. So as you can see, we've got a bit of a different plane here, and this is my custom test plane. So essentially when I need to learn how to do something in the game, whether it's for something that I want to build or to answer a question that someone has, I'll usually load up one of my test planes, like my old C-130 or something like that, and do the modification to that. If I don't have a plane that'll be suitable for it, then I will build one on my own to do it. And I got a bit hyperfixated over the past couple of days and spent way too many hours building a test plane. But that being said, almost everything I did on this test plane are things that I have planned out in the future for the how-to series. So this was kind of my way of testing everything, learning how to do it, working through it, and then I'll start to work those into how-to series in the future. So we'll go over my test plane here and talk about what I've learned so far, so you'll kind of have an idea of what's going to happen in the future. And then another thing that I want to talk about just before we head off on this is that another thing I would like to do is maybe do a series reviewing community planes or planes from people in the comments or other vehicles, and testing them out, taking a look at them on the channel, kind of showcasing them. And then I could also, if you're having problems with a particular thing on a vehicle, you could upload the vehicle and I could take a look at it and see if we can fix it on the channel. But anyways, this is and obviously inspired by the F-117 Nighthawk. Although this is not a stealth bomber configuration, this is a fighter, kind of multi-role fighter bomber configuration. So a lot of stuff I've done to it are things that I've been asked questions about that I plan on putting into how-to series in the future, but I'll go ahead and walk through them a bit here while we're kind of looking at it. And so don't worry if I don't explain how to do it. That's coming. I just want to be able to dedicate an entire episode to specific themes, such as like cockpits or something like that, or weapons bays, that sort of thing. So that'll be a lot easier than trying to work it into a whole other episode of other stuff. I also want to say that if you do want to check this plane out yourself, I have uploaded it to the SimplePlanes workshop on their website. I'll put a link down in the description and you can download it and try it out for yourself. The version up there is just slightly older than this one. I've just changed a couple things and fixed a couple things on this current version. I just haven't uploaded it because I don't want to flood it with different versions of the same plane. So that being said, if you have SimplePlanes too and you want to try it out, I will have a link in the description and maybe in the comments for where you can go to download that. So let's go ahead and take a look at it. Obviously, as I said before, it's inspired by the F-117 Nighthawk. You can see here we've got some gun ports on the front though. We've got a targeting pod and a little glass bay here that I built for it. We've got our shape, which was very, very difficult to work out. It's not perfectly clean, but it's the best I could get it for now. I'm still learning. We've got marker lights. We've got some interesting areas up here. We'll see what that's for later. We've got flares and chaff, and then right up here on the top is a little parachute dispenser for when you land. And then we've got our engines in here, and then through the slot here we've got these little flaps, and what those do is they adjust the trim by thrust vectoring. So it vectors the thrust coming out of the engines in the back to adjust the trim to help keep it stable. So let's go ahead and hop in. and we'll take a look at the cockpit real quick. I have fully modeled the cockpit out. One moment. There we go. I'm still working on it, but it is definitely getting there. So we've got all our working instruments here. All these are set up and working. We've got our brakes, landing gear. Here you can switch between different weapons and targets, parachute, trim, and then one of the things I'm most proud of, I think, is the heads-up display. So we've got our glass heads-up display, and then it's got ammo counts. I still need to kind of adjust stuff a little bit, and then flight stats, so airspeed, G's, altitude, so on and so forth. So let's go ahead and hop back out of here, and we will taxi out and take off. So let's go ahead and get some thrust here. As you can see, we've got our speed up here. Now, keep in mind, if you do fly this, I did include quite a few instructions, so it should be pretty easy to figure out, but due to the shape, it does require quite a bit of speed to take off stable. So generally what you'll want to do is you want to adjust your trim down. I'll actually hop back out here. So as you can see, we've got our little thrust vectoring flaps back here. So if I adjust the trim, those actually adjust with it, see? So, sorry, I'm just trying to steer at the same time here. Maybe we should just stop. So yeah, we can adjust our pitch trim with the thrust vectoring here. So we're going to set that at about 45. Should be all right. Let's get out here and take off. It is a fairly wide plane, but we're just going to get lined up here on the runway up here, and then we'll take off, and I'll show you what all we got on here. Actually, maybe we should do the first part of it while we're parked. It'll be easier to show that than when we're flying. Alright, so we will turn our brake on. Alright, so for weapons, we've got them set up in different groups. So, I'm trying to remember what they are. So we've got group 6, opens these bays here and extends them. And these have active radar homing missiles on them. I need to spruce it up inside, but you can extend those when you want, and when you extend them, it automatically activates them, so they become your main weapon. So we've got those, and then we've also got some IR missiles that open in a different way, and those angle up, and so when this plane, you know, you're trying to stay stealth, you're flying low, that'll make it a lot easier to shoot stuff that's higher up. So we've got both of those. And then we've got one more that I'll show you a bit later. And then another thing we want to pay attention to here is just our exhaust port here, because I've got a little something cool I programmed into it, because this has an afterburner on it. So let's turn our brake off. And then we are going to go full throttle. I'm just holding the parking brake, and see it opens up. Or the afterburner. Alright, so we're going to get our speed up here, and then we're just going to lift. There we go. And then we're just going to adjust our trim a bit. And it is quite stable. I have tuned the control surfaces to be fairly responsive, but not over responsive. You just don't want to turn too sharp because, you know, like the real F-117, you will stall it out. So we can turn our afterburner off there, and that'll just close back up. Very nice. Zoom out a bit here. And then we do have countermeasures. Oh, we need to put our gear up. There we go. And that also turns the marker lights on the wings and stuff off. So we got our chaff and flares. And then what we also have is this. We got a bomb bay on the bottom with 2 laser guided bombs. And we can use our targeting pod for that. And then there's just the engine intakes there. So let's spawn something in and see if we can't fight it. We'll go modern fighter. Alright, so let's go ahead and see if we can find him here. It handles quite nicely. I'm actually really impressed with it. There he is. This way. Oh, yeah, see, I turned a little too sharp there and it started to get unstable. There he is. Oh, we've got incoming. I don't know if I'm going to be able to avoid that one. Nope, you got me. Let's see if we can... Come on, come on. Fly. Come on, afterburners kick in. Oh, he just doesn't want to leave me alone, does he? Well, as you can see, we do have our cannons also. Well, machine guns, really. Let's try and get ready. We'll get our radar missiles out. Get a lock and fire. Box 3. We'll fire the other one also. Close those bays. Oh, he dodged them. Alright, let's try our IR missiles then. Where is he at? Now those are angled. Oh, too close. Those are angled up, so you have to be mindful that... Oh, there we go. See, it turned too sharp and we started spinning out. But yeah, so it does have fully functional weapons. Let's see if I can get this guy. Oh, barely. And we are out of missiles. We are stalling out. So as you will hop in here, and if you watch the airspeed display, if I go like this, start flipping around, see it says stall, so I've got a stall warning programmed in as well. Although this is fairly easy to recover from a stall from, I've got it fairly stabilized. There we go. He's too far away. Anyways, so yeah. Oh no, I actually hit him with something. One of my bullets must have hit him. That's funny. I wasn't expecting that. Alright, let's see here. So we can... Let's get our targeting pod on. Oh, not that. All right, let's see here. We got our bomb bays open here. We're just gonna let's see. Gotta get our laser pointed at something. There we go. Oh, I hit myself. That's hilarious. Oh, I actually hit one of them though with the laser guided bomb. So there you have it. Now I will plan on in the future making a how-to series on how, oh, that was funny, how the weapon bays work with the bomb bays, whether they're the hinged ones or the piston driven ones or just the drop ones for the bombs below. I'll have probably do one how-to episode for all three of those together. And then we can do some other stuff if people are interested in seeing how anything else works. So let me know in the comments below if you've got the game and you give it a try. Let me know what you think. And until next time, take care, be safe, and I will see you later.